Something's Wrong with Us, Volume 3 Review. In the last volume, Something's Wrong with Us, Nao and Tsubaki were forced to go further to prove their relationship to Tsubaki's grandfather and mother. Now the two are sharing a room, and at the moment of passion end up sleeping together. But afterwards, Nao asks Tsubaki what he could think if she was actually Sakura. Tsubaki's response to Nao's question is simply that he'd have her disappear out of his sight, and he goes on to talk about how he saw Sakura's mother, but his father truly believes she killed him. Until now, Nao had never heard Tsubaki's side of the story, but it comes to her mother, and this revelation throws her for a loop, but she still doesn't want to believe her mother was capable of committing such a deed. If nothing else, this discussion proves to Nao that she must never let Tsubaki know her real identity, but she might not have a choice as Tsubaki's mother is closing in on the truth. With her son and Nao becoming closer by the day, Tsubaki's mother is resolved to finding a way to get Nao kicked out, especially since she realizes the resemblance now holds the Sakura's mother, which in turn had led her to believe Nao truly is Sakura. While undergoing a particularly rough interrogation, Nao is saved when the woman turns up who claims to be her mother and manages to sell her story to Tsubaki and his mother. Nao has no idea who this woman is, but is relieved to have someone on her side. Afterwards, Nao confronts the woman, who reveals she was just doing someone a favor but tells her to come to her pub, where she might be able to meet the person behind it all. Of course, Nao must first escape under the watchful eye of her future mother-in-law. While Volume 2 of Something's Wrong with Us was very slow, this installment picks up the pace and manages to pack in quiet a few twists and turns. It feels like it won't be long before Nao's secret is finally believed, and it's clear even Tsubaki is starting to suspect Nao is Sakura, which makes for a compelling read. I both want to see Nao succeeding in her goals is also be found out. Since the fallout with no doubt of highly entertaining, it feels like author Natsumi Ando has gotten a handle on how to progress the story along. After a bit of a wobble previously, I do worry things are getting a little over-dramatized toward the end of the book, but Something's Wrong with Us was never realistic. Some readers may be put off by how dramatic events are getting, especially involving Tsubaki's mother, but I think if you've ever invested enough in the characters, then that can be set aside. It's just a shame that Ando jumps between more down-to-earth problems like now having to make sweets in the previous volume to Tsubaki threatening to get rid of her if she turns out to be Sakura. There's nothing wrong with these stories on their own, but Ando doesn't seem to know how to transition between them gently, which leads to a feeling of turmoil for the reader. It's not a big problem yet, but he has the potential to be, if you have a constant back and forth going forward. Something's Wrong with Us Volume 3 comes to the West thanks to Kodansha Comics, and it was translated by Sawa Matsueda Savage. As always, the translation reads well and no problems to note. Overall, Something's Wrong with Us Volume 3 returns to the grieving drama when we presented with 2 beginning with. Until this installment ramps the dramatics up compared to Volume 2. It still proves an entertaining reads and leaves you eager to see more. 8 out of 10.